Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So before I start with diary entry number 2, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who shared, who commented, who liked, who sent me lovely messages in regards to my last video. It means the world, honestly, because it was a hard video to do. It took me very long to even get to the stage of filming it, and I filmed that video at least twice and I just hated it. So the response has been great. It's been amazing and I'm very thankful. If you want to watch, I'll leave the link down below if you haven't watched it yet. In this video, I will be talking about all things hair. As mentioned in my previous video, one of the most frustrating and most exhausting symptoms that I have and that I have to deal with is the excessive hair growth that comes with having PCOS. So alongside having, you know, the excessive hair growth that comes with PCOS, I am naturally, genetically a hairy person. I have hair, like I've had hair since young, like my family are very hairy. So hair is not something that is new to me, like it didn't come with PCOS, if that makes sense. The area that has been the most frustrating, the area that has been the most painful, the most difficult part of this excessive hair growth that has come with PCOS is my chin area. Now, let me know what woman has hair on their chin. Okay, let me know. Because the reasons of me having hair on my chin does not make any sense to me whatsoever. Because I didn't tell anybody that I want to join beard gang. Do I look like somebody that should have a beard? I'm just heavily confused. Yes, I said confused. Okay, because like the hair on my chin, okay, it didn't obviously first start as thick black long hairs on my chin. It started off as peach fuzz. Ever since I've got PCOS now, it's like it's just full force, like full force of hair on my chin. And like I wasn't aware that the hair on my chin was visible to other people. It sounds very stupid, but I thought that I was the only person that could see the hairs on my skin. I thought that I'd have to be this close to a mirror to see it, and I thought that anybody else would literally have to be this close to me to see it, which obviously is gonna happen. Like my mates could be this close to me, my mum could be this close to me, like it's very possible for people to be that close to me and see the hairs on my chin. But I wasn't thinking that way. I literally just thought nobody could see it, and if anybody does see it, they'd not say anything basically. And I remember, I think I was just walking to the bus stop with my brother and he was like, "Wow, you got a beard." And I said, "Whoa." Alright, bro. That day it was just like somebody else can see it sort of thing. Like, thank God it was by my brother and not, you know, someone else or a stranger. Thank God it was him and he was comfortable enough to be able to tell me, because yeah, since that day I have not left my house without sorting it out basically. So having the hair on my chin has been a very difficult experience for me, because the thought alone literally makes me so upset. I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know why hair can make me upset, but it makes me so sad, because I just think, you know, I've genetically got hair. Like, I'm a hairy person. I've been having to deal with hair for as long as I can remember. I've been having to deal with other people telling me about the hair on my body. I've just been a self-conscious person since a very young age because of these little things that just all added up. And obviously those things I have dealt with, but then it's now as I got older where I thought, you know, hair is being dealt with, like I can control, you know, the hairs. I'm not going to leave my house with hairy legs. I'm not going to leave my house with hairy armpits. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just something that I can control. And then PCOS comes, and then I get the excessive hair growth on my chin. And I've never had amazing skin before. And I say amazing skin, I've got good skin, but scarless skin for me has always been something that I've been struggling to sort of deal with, because I always feel like, you know, I've got all these like rough edges on my skin, I've got these spots and blah 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 blah, and people can see and people might think this of me and blah blah blah. Now I don't care. I've had to grow a lot of thick skin to sort of deal with it, but that's how I thought when I was younger. So obviously now having PCOS and now having this hair growth on my chin literally is character building. That is honestly the worst thing I've ever had to deal with when it comes to hair. It has left my skin so terrible in that area. It has given me that I've got scars for 100 years, I'm sure. Like, I've got so much scars underneath my chin area. I have ingrown hairs all the time. I have just really bad skin there in this whole area right down to here. It's just absolutely terrible, and every time I've got my makeup off and I'm looking in the mirror, I'm sorting myself out or whatever, like I am so close to just breaking down and crying, and it doesn't even make sense. And I'm very emotional right now talking about hair. It doesn't make sense, but yeah, I just always want to break down every time I see the skin underneath in my chin area. It just makes me so upset, and I just always think like, why do I now have this additional thing to deal with? Like, I've got hair on my chin, I know that, you know, I have been in control of that as much as I can, and then now I have scars to deal with. And listen, every single body knows that having scars on your skin is literally the one thing that everybody needs, like one product that will just take it away for good. So obviously everybody collectively, as black people of color, you know, most of us have the problem when it comes to our skin where it's like we want all our scars to be gone, okay? And I'm not that scarry in this region, which is fantastic, and it's taken me a long time to get to that place, like. And then PCOS came along, excessive hair came along, then the chin hair came along, and then the chin hair has now left me with an abundance of scars, okay? And it's honestly the worst thing ever. Like, I look in the mirror sometimes, and sometimes I literally just want to peel my face off. When you've had to deal with something for so long and, you know, still not come to a solution, it's extremely difficult to deal with. And yeah, it just makes me so emotional and sad having hair in that area, having hair there, and having to deal with it and deal with the results of having that hair, because obviously with the hair that is on my chin, it's very, very, very thick. Like, when I haven't waxed, I have a cast that you can see when I'm not wearing makeup. Even when I'm wearing makeup, you can see it kinda, but it almost looks like peach fuzz because it's you can't see the color of it, if that makes sense. But when I've not got makeup on and I just haven't been to get it taken care of in a very long time because whatever, or I'm just like waiting between appointments, you can so see, like, it literally looks like I've got a beard. The area just becomes so thick, and it's just so bad. It's just bad basically. And I've always hated hair, but then having hair here has made me hate hair on another level, like on another level. Like, it doesn't even make sense how I can despise hair so much, but I absolutely can't stand it. And I always feel like, you know, when I'm out, I forget, I'm not gonna lie to you, I forget to look after or take care of it sometimes. So like, I'll be doing my makeup, I'll literally be on the baking stage, and then I'm just looking at myself properly, I'm just like, rah, like, Jade, your chin's kind of hairy, like, you're gonna go out like that, sort of thing. And I go out like that because I either just don't have time to do, like I've got no time to deal with it, and the times where it's like really bad, I'm just like, okay Jay, this is, you know, this may be a bit too much for you to leave the house with. Then I get a razor and just, when I shouldn't obviously, but I do it anyway because yeah, I don't want anybody to see. And then sometimes, like when I do forget and I do go out and people are talking to me, I like wholeheartedly feel like whoever I'm speaking to can see the hairs on my chin and are staring in this region instead of staring here. Might be all in my head, and probably is, but that's how I was thinking for a long time. And it's not until I used to go out and I wasn't enjoying myself when I was out, I would be like sort of thinking, okay, can this person see the hairs on my chin, or you know, like I would literally talk to myself in my head. Like I'd be having a conversation with myself in my head in regards to hair on my chin while in the middle of like a party or a concert or something like that. And it was only then, which was like a couple of years ago, I realized that, you know, Jade, maybe it's time for you to actually keep on top of it and be a bit more organized when it comes to dealing with the hair on your chin. Like I said, I was younger, I got a razor, and that's the first thing I did. Never put a razor on your skin, ever. Like if you can avoid using a razor and you've got sensitive skin, I'd literally avoid it. One of the worst creations known to mankind, a razor, is crap. Especially those cheap Bic ones or BIC ones. And that was literally my go-to, just everywhere. So at times when I did forget, I would get the razor and just whoop. And after, when I thought, okay, maybe you shouldn't be using the razor on your skin, after I did like some research, I found that, you know, you can use hair removal creams on the skin. And that's what I started to do. I did that for a couple of months and it was nice, but it grew back. Again, that's another thing with shaving. The hair grows back in 0.000000001 seconds. It grows back like this, like as soon as you left the bathroom, it's growing, saying hi Jade. That is basically what those hairs are doing. So even after the hair removal, that one lasted a bit longer, maybe like a couple of days. But then the problem with that I found was that it was making that area dark. When you use a razor as well, it looks dark because razors don't actually take the hair from the root, it just cuts it basically. So you will always be left with like a dark sort of mask in that area or stubble. So yeah, so that's what I found with the depilatory creams. That's what they were doing to my skin, and I thought, okay, no, because now it just looks like I'm taking care of this area so that I don't look like I've got a beard, so I don't look like I've got a black cast, and that's what the cream was doing to my skin. So I X'd that away. Then I started to self-medicate. I started to take matters into my own hands because I was still trying to keep it cheap and cheerful. So I started to buy face wax strips. And those wax strips basically literally came in like the smallest rectangle. You'd warm it up in your hands and yeah, you'd just put it on and wax. And it was going fantastic. It was saving myself money. The area was lighter. The hair wasn't going back as quick. It was smoother. It was just great. I felt like I was really in control of my hair on my chin. I felt like I was in control of my beard. I think I did it for a whole year and it was fantastic. Until one day, I waxed my actual skin off. It was extremely sore, it was red, and you know when your skin opens, it does scab. So it scabbed big time. I'm trying to get rid of hair, I'm trying to get rid of darkness, I'm trying to get rid of, you know, like the mask of looking dark even when there's no hair there. And then I only go and wax my own face off and then I'm left with a big black scab across my chin. Worst thing ever. I done that twice. It's like I didn't learn the first time, but I done it twice. So after I've now decided that, you know, I'm gonna stop self-medicating, I took myself to the, what do you call these places? These beauty places that you get your eyebrows threaded at. Took myself to one of those places and started getting it threaded. And the threading was great, but it hurts like a bitch. And it just lasts forever. Like it literally feels like it's just so long. Like the whole process is long, but I still continue to do it because I was loving the results that it was giving me. But again, I found with that the hairs were growing back so quick, not quicker than I had hoped when it came to threading. I just thought that it maybe take a week or 2 weeks for it to start growing back, but it was a lot less than that, and it was getting on my nerves because I thought, what am I paying for? Like, now I'm actually paying to remove this hair off my skin, and it's not staying away for as long as it should. So I did that for a couple of years, and then I started to get a wax. Started to actually go to the shop and get hot wax done on my chin, and that was great, fantastic. I'm still currently doing it, so I absolutely love it. First got it done, again, area was smooth, area was like so much lighter, like it was absolutely fantastic. Like, I loved the results, and the woman, like, really, she took her time when it came to doing it, and I absolutely just loved having my chin wax. And the hairs that she couldn't grab, she'd either grab a tweezer or she'd go in with threading and thread the little hairs that she couldn't grab with the wax, instead of going back on the skin with the wax like I did, and that's why I waxed my skin off. That has been my journey with trying to take care of the hair on my chin. 2 beauty places in my house, and my regular one, get my mini wax, was the main place that I used to go to, so I thought that I would start to get my chin dealt with in that store. And I haven't been back for a long time because I'd walk in, you know, I'd be like, okay, I need to get my chin waxed. Like, I sort of whisper it because I didn't want anybody to know that that's the area that I was getting waxed. Because there's no the woman that I always happen to get, the same woman who would deal with my chin. And instead of her to do her job, instead of her to focus on what I have asked her to do, she always mentioned the fact that, oh, the hairs are really thick. Your hairs are really thick, you know that? Babe, I know. Or she'd mention, oh, you should consider laser. Are you gonna pay? She's gonna, oh, this is gonna be like so difficult to do. And it was every single time I entered her store, every single time I sat down in that chair, I happened to get her, and she happened to always make snide comments about the hairs on my chin. I don't want you to talk to me right now. I just want you to do your job. As rude as that sounds, just do your job, because I don't know if this area on my face is something that is very difficult for me to deal with. It's hard for me to deal with it. And you don't know that, she didn't know that, she clearly didn't know that, obviously, and I didn't expect her to, but I expect a level of customer service when it comes to things like that. And I haven't been back to that shop since, because every time I went it was the same thing, and it just made me feel a lot more conscious about it, and I didn't want to have to cuss anybody, didn't want to have to be rude to anybody. And then I started going to another store, and she is absolutely lovely. So I get regular chin waxes every 2 or so weeks, and that's how now I still currently keep on top of the hair that does grow there. I don't really do anything else. I still sleep with a tweezer underneath my pillow, just in case I need to like grab any hairs, or if I feel any hairs on my skin, then I'll just grab a tweezer and just pluck. I also, sometimes I carry a tweezer out with me as well, just in case there is an episode where like there's just one long one, or I'm like, I can feel it, so I'll just pluck it. It's just something I have to do. Like, it comes with the territory of having hair in a place where people can see, a visible place where it's not like you're not intentionally not shaving because you're wearing, you know, it's winter, but it's just somewhere on my face where it's like I can't not do it. So I do carry a tweezer around sometimes, and the fact that I have to do that is just pisses me off. Like, I cannot stand having hair on my chin. I hate it, absolutely hate it. But again, it's one of those things that comes with having PCOS, and comes with the hormones, and comes with the job, comes with the territory basically. But it has taught me, it still does make me very emotional, but it has taught me, it's taught me to be more confident in the skin that I'm in. It's taught me to sort of own whatever flaw that I have, or whatever insecurity that I have. And although it's taken me this long to sort of acknowledge that I have to talk about something before somebody else talks about it, basically. And it's just taught me to be a lot more self-aware. Obviously, it's taught me to be a lot more routine, a lot more organized. So it's not, I mean, having the hair there is not all bad. It's not like nothing good has come from it, is what I'm trying to say. But I mean, like, the good that has come from it is very, very tiny, as opposed to the bad that has come from it. And the damage that it has done mentally and physically does outweigh the good in this instance. But I'm not, and I'm never ever going to let hair keep me down at all. I'm never gonna let hair stop me from being a confident person, even though I'm not even that confident. But you know, one can lie, one can fake. If I had one wish with this whole PCOS thing, it would literally just to not have hair grow in the places that it has been growing in. I feel like it is stressful as a woman, the upkeep of having to look presentable at all times. And that's not to say that we have to do it. I mean, there's a lot of women out there that I know that don't shave their armpits, which I'm not a fan of, but again, each their own. But the upkeep of a woman, and how far we have to go, and the lengths we have to go, and the pain we have to go through in order to keep ourselves looking prim and proper. And it's not even the case where it's for man, it's for ourselves. It's so that we can feel good. But everything is just so much, from nails, from toes, from getting waxes, to shaving our legs, to shaving our armpits, from doing our hair, to periods, to building a bum, to losing weight, to doing this and to doing that. Like, it's a lot. Like, it's genuinely a lot. And I feel like I don't feel like it can get any easier unless you just stop those things. But now that I've got an additional problem, which that a woman may not necessarily have, it's just bloody annoying, because it's like I've got all this to deal with, bar the chin hair and bar everything else that comes with PCOS. But now I have to also deal with that as a woman, and I also have to deal with like the symptoms of that, and it's just bloody annoying. I just wish that with the PCOS thing I didn't get hair, and I just, you know, one can only wish, basically. But if I did have a wish, that would literally be it, because I honestly, I can't stand hair on my body. And my long-term goal is to literally get laser everywhere. I feel like that is a more permanent solution into getting rid of hair. And although waxing is great, you know, it does the job, but like, for how long? And I don't want to keep spending money on getting waxes. I mean, waxing my chin is only £5, but it adds up, okay, because I have to do it every so often. Like, every time I go to get like my mini wax, or I go to get my chin wax, I'm literally always thinking to myself, why am I paying for somebody to remove hair off my body? Because I didn't ask for this hair. I didn't ask for this excessive hair growth, so why am I paying? Like, and I've just gotten to a point where I'm so frustrated when it comes to dealing with hair, dealing with anything hair related, if it's not on my head, or if it's not my lashes, or if it's not my eyebrows, because it's just a bloody headache. Like, I can't stand it. One thing I will say is that you just have to own it. You have to be comfortable enough to be comfortable about whatever it is that is your flaw or insecurity. Because me talking about it is me dealing with it, it's me owning it, it's me letting you guys know, or letting the world know, or letting XYZ know that I know that I've got a hairy chin, and I know that I've got hair in places that I'm not supposed to have hair, but I'm aware of it. So you can't now come back and try and tell me what I already know, basically. Like, I've got one up. But although with hair on my chin, like I said, it's easily removable, but it still upsets me, because I just think, oh my gosh, like, sometimes have I missed the hair, you know, has it grown back overnight, and like, not even overnight, but have I gone out and then it's grown back during the night, and there's just one there's a couple strands that's just flowing there. I never know, but like, I would suggest, if you do have any hair on your face or in any other area obviously, but I would suggest getting waxes or getting laser. I feel like they're the best methods for your skin. You can also use an epilator, but I've heard that really hurts. But I've got a friend who uses it and her legs are always so wonderfully smooth, and obviously it's not a razor, it's not a depilatory cream, and it does last a lot longer as well. So yeah, so you can get a wax, you can use an epilator, or you can go and get laser, which I would so love to do. If anybody wants to fund my laser, please, hi, I would like you at, yeah, I'd really love that. But yeah man, I think this is the end of this video. I feel like I've given you lot an insight into what I have to deal with when it comes to hair. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Diary entry number 2. We out of here. Yeah.